Hello and welcome to this yoga leg workout. We're going to be starting at the top of the mat standing. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, and exhale, sit down into chair pose, starting to fire up the legs here right away. In your chair pose, you could keep your palms at heart center, or for a more intense variation, extend the arms up overhead. Continue to breathe. Now from your chair, come up onto the toes, lift the heels. Now shift your weight back into your heels, lift the toes, and rock back and forth here, noticing when you're up high on the toes, you feel it more in the quads, and when your weight is back in your heels, you'll feel it more in the hamstrings and glutes. So continuing to rock back and forth, slow and controlled. Good. Find stillness in your chair pose and then exhale, lift the hips, dive over the legs, forward fold. Plant the hands, step the feet to the back of the mat, coming through high plank. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga, and inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips lift, downward dog. Begin to pedal out your feet, stretching through the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, bending into one knee and then the other. Good. Find stillness in your downward dog, peek forward, and step your right foot forward in between your hands. On an inhale with control, rise up to crescent lunge. Arms extended up overhead, shoulders relaxed down away from the ears. Bend the elbows, taking cactus arms, and drop that left knee down. Take a tap and then inhale, back up to crescent lunge. Taking a few knee taps here. Good. Back up to your crescent lunge. Lean forward over that front leg and then lift that back foot, coming up to warrior three. Strong through that standing leg. And then inhale, bring that left knee up towards your chest, pillar pose. Back to warrior three. And then rising up to that pillar pose. So moving back and forth here, slow and with control, finding your balance. You will feel this in your standing leg. And then next time you find yourself in warrior three, step that foot back and open up into warrior two. Arms out to a T. Turn those front toes in, so heels are in, toes are out. You're facing the long edge of the mat. Take cactus arms and sink your hips down into goddess lunge. Begin to just take small pulses up and down. Strong through the glutes, strong through the hamstrings here. Good. Come back into crescent lunge, facing the front of the mat. And then step forward. Hands come to heart center, sinking down into chair pose. We'll take those rocks coming up onto the toes, lifting the heels, and then shifting back onto the heels, lift the toes. Continuing to breathe, slow, steady breaths. Dive forward over the legs, forward fold. Plant the hands, step your feet back, move through your vinyasa, moving through plank, down through chaturanga, upward facing dog, and meeting back up in downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs, stretching out those hamstrings. Peek forward between your hands, step your left foot forward, and with control, reach those hands up to the sky, coming into crescent lunge. Bend the elbows out wide, lift the chest, taking cactus arms, and drop that right knee down for a tap. Inhale back up to crescent, exhale, tap. Taking a few knee taps here on your own. Good. Next time you find yourself up in your crescent lunge, stay there and then lean forward over that front leg. Lift that right foot high, coming into warrior 3. Swing that right leg through, bringing your knee up towards your chest for pillar, and then back towards warrior 3. Big balance challenge here, taking it nice and slow, back and forth. Your standing leg should be on fire by now. And step it back, open the arms out to a T, warrior 2. Heels in, toes out, facing the long edge of the mat, sink down into goddess lunge. Elbows are bent, arms are in cactus. And take those small pulses up and down, strong through the glutes. Continuing to breathe. Place your hands to your knees and then just sink down into your right shoulder and then switching sides. So twisting, getting a nice shoulder stretch here. Straighten out the legs and fold forward for a wide leg forward fold. Letting the head and neck hang heavy. Inhale up to a flat back and exhale, fold back in. Inhale, flat back and exhale, fold. Crawl your hands over to the right. And then walk your hands through center and over towards the left foot. Walk your hands back through center, over to the right, and then step that left foot forward to meet the right, bringing your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing this yoga leg workout with me, and I encourage you to repeat this flow again.